Welcome back, fellow hunters. This is our anime channel. Today we will discuss Solo Leveling Episode 2 highlights, review and recap. The second episode of this season's most anticipated anime series definitely lived up to the hype. It fearlessly embraced elements of gore, blood, and intensity, skillfully accompanied by well-crafted sound scores to heighten the tension. And here's the review and recap of the unfolding events in Solo Leveling Episode 2. This episode picks up right from the part where Episode 1 ends. By now, we all know the fate of these people who are trapped inside the chamber is grim. The first episode left us with our terrified hunters staring down the barrel of a very angry, very cold stone goddess. Turns out, this low-ranking dungeon is packing some serious S-rank threat, leaving our novice squad feeling like ants at a monster truck rally. We also get to see a bit more of his sister in this episode, as well as his mom's condition. As he fights for his life inside the dungeon, it's a stark contrast with his sister's nonchalant attitude, and as multiple party members die gruesomely, it paints a picture of the real horror and tragedy of dungeon raiding in this world. But why are the hunters in such a situation when they are supposed to be at a low-ranking dungeon? The captain of the mission even reveals how he thinks the boss of this dungeon, which is the statue here, is at least an A-rank or even an S-rank threat. There must have been a mistake due to which a team of practically novices are sent here to their deaths. So, here's the thing, it's a bit of a head-scratcher to figure out why the statue acts up and it's not attacking all the time, making it a bit of a puzzle. Jin-Woo, our E-rank hunter protagonist, recalls the first rule about worshipping God. He connects the dots, realizing this dungeon has its own set of rules. To stay alive, they just gotta play by its game. And in this episode, we get the lowdown on how the whole dungeon setup works. It's like getting a backstage pass to the secrets of dungeons. Remember those 3 rules from the first episode in the Dungeon Temple? Well, let's focus on the first 2, respect God and praise God. To stay alive, you gotta stick to all 3 rules. Now, what's the first one about? Easy. Just keep your head down when you're near the God statue. Do that and you're good to go. If you skip it, well, let's just say it's game over. Now, let's talk about the second rule, and this is where it gets interesting. What does revere God mean? Jin-Woo, being a sharp player, figures it out that it's all about the other statues in the room. Most have weapons, but some are holding instruments. To revere God, you gotta stand in front of a statue with an instrument. But here's the kicker, only 1 person per statue. So, if your squad is too big, it's time to thin the herd. Anyone not in front of an instrument-holding statue perishes. Now, let's talk about the third and final rule, and this one's a bit blurry at first. It hints that someone in the party might need to be sacrificed. But, is that the real deal? Does someone really have to bite the bullet? Here's how it went down. All 6 party members gotta step into the circle around the altar. Flames spark up for each of them, and there are these blue flames around the altar playing disappear and seek. The hunters are not sure what those flames are for. Now, as the party members saw the exit doors swinging open, they're free to bail. But here's the twist, if they do, their flame fizzles out and the doors do a slight close-up. If 5 folks make a run for it, the doors slam on the last one standing. So, the hunch is someone might be playing the solo exit game. However, there are some other things going on. There are the blue countdown flames. Does everyone inside the temple die when they go out? Before we answer that, let's find out first what happened at climax of episode 2. In the middle of all the hopelessness, a tiny bit of hope shows up. But even when Jin-Woo tries to speak up, something mean shuts him up forever. It's like he's offered up as a strange sacrifice and he sees his own blood on the altar he was trying to beat. When the final hit comes, everything gets super quiet. The blue flames that were dancing around the statues go away, swallowed by the dark. And then, in the quiet, there's a choice. A screen shows up in Jin-Woo's fading mind like a computer message, say yes or say no, to become a player. Now here's the lowdown on what else is happening. Those blue countdown flames are there, but does everyone get killed if they leave the chamber? Nope, not really. Jin-Woo was forced to stuck around until the final blue flame vanished, and guess what? He got a reward. So, if the whole gang toughed it out until the blue flames died out, would they all snag that reward? Looks pretty likely. The reward didn't ask for a sacrifice, just some courage. Anyone holding their ground in the temple could have shown that. Oh, and here's a little nugget I haven't spilled yet. The statues with weapons? They make a move toward the altar unless someone's giving them the eye. As party members bail, it gets trickier to keep the statues in check. But if the whole crew stuck together, it'd be a cakewalk. The real challenge is having the guts to stay put. So, what's the deal with the episode? Picture it like going to a super fancy restaurant but for fans of dark fantasy genre. The animation is jaw-dropping, the music is big and kinda scary, the voice actors totally rocked it, and oh boy, the gore. It's like a masterpiece of blood and guts, which is pretty cool because usually anime shows tone down the violence. The episode moves super fast, making you stick to the screen like glue on paper. And guess what? The songs at the start and end are total hits. It's the kind of music that makes you feel like punching demons and then doing your taxes just because it's that awesome. What do you think of Solo Leveling Episode 2? Are you expecting the god from the dungeon temple to show up again later in the series? And do you think all 6 remaining party members could have received the skill Jin-Woo got? Let me know in the comments. If you're not sure about solo leveling, let me help you out like a guide in a dungeon. This episode gives you all the cool stuff the first one talked about and even more. It's dark, it's tough, it looks awesome, and the story is twistier than a pretzel at a circus. If you enjoyed this Solo Leveling Episode 2 review and recap video, remember to share it with everyone you know. Don't forget to show some love to our YouTube channel. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, and ring the notification bell for the latest updates. Your support means a lot to us. Thanks for watching until next time.